Welcome to Malifaux University. 610. Gaining Ground Scheme Outflank. This is one of the most straightforward schemes in the game. If you're just starting out, you may want to pick this scheme for its sheer simplicity. In fact, this scheme also exists in the core rules, and the Gaining Grounds version is even easier than the core rules. The goal of Outflank is to position one of your models at each end of the center line and near a scheme marker. Twice. The reveal condition for Outflank is scored at the end of the turn. To score the reveal condition, you need to have a model within 3 inches of each end of the center line. In the core rules version, both models must be within 3 inches of a friendly scheme marker, but in Gaining Grounds, only one of those models must meet this requirement. Your models don't have to be chosen in advance or of a certain soulstone cost, and they don't have to be completely within that 3 inches. They also don't have to be the ones to drop the scheme marker, so if one model can drop the marker, another model can move into position. Remove the scheme marker and score your victory point. Once you've done that, the end condition is to do it again, but with both models near a friendly scheme marker. That's right. Have any 2 models within 3 inches of each end of the center line and within 3 inches of a friendly scheme marker by the end of the game. It can be the same 2 models who scored the reveal or different ones. Remove both scheme markers to score your victory point. Remember that summoned models don't count for friendly schemes or strategies and cannot take the interact action for the turn they are summoned. This means you cannot summon a model near the end of the center line and have it interact to drop a scheme marker or be in place to score the scheme that turn, but it could score it the next turn or at the end of the game as long as it wasn't summoned in turn 5. I'll take a brief moment now to thank all those who were patrons at the time this video was made, especially Sergey, Keith, Alan, Jeremy, Tom, and Travis, and many more at the free student tier. Your support is essential to bringing these videos to life. Let's see this in action. Dashiell Barker's guards are in an encounter with Colette Dubois' performers. The guild player has chosen Outflank for one of his schemes and is trying to use his 2 mounted guards to score this. They have a movement stat of 7, so they can cover some distance pretty quickly. He deploys one at each end of his deployment zone, and during turn 1 moves them both forward without engaging the Arcanists. By the end of turn 2, they're both within 3 inches of where the center line meets the edge of the table. One takes shots at some enemy models, while the other interacts to drop a scheme marker, and at the end of the turn, the guild player reveals the scheme, removes the scheme marker, and scores the victory point. In turns 3 and 4, the Arcanist crew tries to knock these 2 out of position. Each mounted guard has a demise ability that replaces it with a guard patrol model when it dies. The performers kill both mounted guards and one of the guard patrol models, but not before they both drop scheme markers. In turn 4, Dashiell Barker uses his Call-in Reinforcements tactical action to summon a sergeant model and remove an enemy scheme marker. In turn 5, the sergeant runs over to replace the fallen guard patrol model. Even though this scheme marker is not within 3 inches of the end of the center line, the sergeant is, and the sergeant is also within 3 inches of the scheme marker. The guild scores the end condition for the scheme. That's the Gaining Ground scheme, Outflank. Pick up a printable set of all the markers and tokens you need to play Malifaux in the Wargames Vault. If you haven't already, join us on Patreon to receive early, ad-free access to all new content. And be sure to visit the Malifaux University gift shop for the latest in Malifaux-themed shirts, hoodies, drinkware, and more. Links are in the notes below. And remember, play friendly games, keep it simple, and have fun.